In 1915, Cobb set the single-season record for stolen bases with 96, which stood until Dodger Maury Wills broke it in 1962. That year, he also won his 9th consecutive batting title, hitting .369. In 1917, Cobb hit in 35 consecutive games, still the only player with two 35-game hitting streaks, including his 40-game streak in 1911. He had 6 hitting streaks of at least 20 games in his career, second only to Pete Rose's 8. Also in 1917, Cobb starred in the motion picture Somewhere in Georgia for a sum of $25,000 plus expenses. Based on a story by sports columnist Grantland Rice, the film casts Cobb as himself, a small-town Georgia bank clerk with a talent for baseball. Broadway critic Ward Morehouse called the movie absolutely the worst flicker I ever saw, pure hokum. In October 1918, Cobb enlisted in the Chemical Corps branch of the United States Army and was sent to the Allied Expeditionary Forces headquarters in Chaumont, France. He served approximately 67 days overseas before receiving an honorable discharge and returning to the United States. He was given the rank of captain underneath the command of Major Branch Rickey, the president of the St. Louis Cardinals. Other baseball players serving in this unit included Captain Christy Mathewson and Lieutenant George Sisler. All of these men were assigned to the Gas and Flame Division, where they trained soldiers in preparation for chemical attacks by exposing them to gas chambers in a controlled environment, which was eventually responsible for Mathewson's contracting tuberculosis, leading to his premature death on the eve of the 1925 World Series. On August 19, 1921, in the second game of a doubleheader against Elmer Myers of the Boston Red Sox, Cobb collected his 3-THOUSANDTH hit. Aged 34 at the time, he is still the youngest ball player to reach that milestone, and in the fewest at-bats with 8,093. By 1920, Babe Ruth, sold to the renamed New York Yankees from the Boston Red Sox, had established himself as a power hitter, something Cobb was not considered to be. When his Tigers showed up in New York to play the Yankees for the first time that season, writers billed it as a showdown between two stars of competing styles of play. Ruth hit 2 homers and a triple during the series, compared to Cobb's 1 single. As Ruth's popularity grew, Cobb became increasingly hostile toward him. He saw the Babe not only as a threat to his style of play, but also to his style of life. Perhaps what angered him the most about Ruth was that despite Babe's total disregard for his physical condition and traditional baseball, he was still an overwhelming success and brought fans to the ballparks in record numbers to see him challenge his own slugging records. On May 5, 1925, Cobb told a reporter that, for the first time in his career, he was going to try to hit home runs, saying he wanted to show that he could hit home runs but simply chose not to. That day, he went 6 for 6, with 2 singles, a double and 3 homers. The 16 total bases set a new AL record, which stood until May 8, 2012 when Josh Hamilton of the Texas Rangers hit 4 home runs and a double for a total of 18 bases. The next day he had 3 more hits, 2 of which were home runs. The single his first time up gave him 9 consecutive hits over 3 games, while his 5 homers in 2 games tied the record set by Cap Anson of the old Chicago NL team in 1884. By the end of the series, Cobb had gone 12 for 19 with 29 total bases, and afterwards reverted to his old playing style. Even so, when asked in 1930 by Grantland Rice to name the best hitter he'd ever seen, Cobb answered, "You can't beat the Babe." Ruth is one of the few who can take a terrific swing and still meet a ball solidly. His timing is perfect. No one has the combined power and eye of Ruth.